as always, I will link it linked above. I'll have it linked above. Words are
try
hard.
that one again?
I would very much like to, yes. Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey, and we're about to get very, very nerdy with my April haul, but with a twist.
I'm Twist!
So this is to prove to you that no, you are not seeing double vision, and no, this is a different person. If you are confused, it's okay, everyone is. But they look very similar. But no, this one's mine.
One's blind.
One's blind.
Yes. Everyone should know I shaved for the first time in over a year just so I could look more like my brother.
So, for the first time, well, not for the first time, but for the first official time on this channel, we have the brother-in-law.
This is the first time.
Well, no, you were in the beginning of a vlog.
Yeah, you used me as a bit.
I did use you as a bit, but now he's officially here.
Now the bit is the video.
Now the bit, exactly. But he's been talked about quite a lot, by Chris mostly, because you had my 6 of Crows forever. That's really why you kept coming up in conversation. So as you guys know, every month on this channel I do a haul, but since the brother-in-law, whose name is Andrew, I realized I haven't said that, this is Andrew, is visiting, I thought we'd do a twist on it, which is, he's gonna guess what the books are about, based on the cover and the title alone.
And I know nothing.
And he knows nothing about these.
Anything.
Because
I know that there's one that Chris doesn't like.
And it's gonna be the last one, just
and you have told me about it like 3 times.
I'm so excited.
And showed it to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I have no knowledge on. I'm a little scared about one book.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what book it is. I'm really nervous about that. Not really.
It's fine. It'll be great. So he hasn't seen, they're all kind of hiding over here. He hasn't seen any of them. We read very different things. So if he knows any of them, I will honestly be surprised.
I don't read.
You do. Well, you do a little.
Mm.
So I thought we'd do a fun little twist and see how it works. The real test is going to be, do I remember what they're about? Because it's been a while. Okay, you ready to get started?
Sure.
Great. I'll leave everything that I can linked down below, as always, so that if, you know, we're not very good at describing what something's about, check it out down below. They're always there if you're ever
I'm
need
going
more
to be
information.
spot on.
Sure. First book that we are here to haul is the one that I got in my Fairy Loot from the March box. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave it linked above. Feel free to check that one out. Just, you know, spoilers if you haven't gotten it. But it's this one, which is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio.
I want, like, I really want this to be, like, Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
Like, I really want, like, this is just, like... So she ticked off a mob boss.
Okay.
And she was drowned, and then the mer people found her, and now she lives beneath the sea.
That's true.
With 40 leagues underneath the sea.
It's a different book.
And also with Moby Dick. Yeah.
That's your guess?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name though, because I'm really good at this. Mina.
She's a professional.
I am a professional. So this is based on a Korean legend. It follows our main character Mina, and in her town there's like this sea god who's supposed to like protect them, but actually like the tradition's been like warped a little bit, and so now they like sacrifice a girl to the sea in hopes that she'll be like the one true bride for the sea god. So Mina's brother's betrothed is the one that's chosen, and so she goes instead down to like the depths instead of her, and then she ends up going on this grand adventure because the sea god's not actually like alive. He's like sleeping, so like he's not doing anything.
I feel like for as outrageous of a guess as I made,
that wasn't terrible. Like honestly,
I wasn't right. I will admit that I was not right.
But she goes.
But I wasn't as wrong as I expected I was.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. The second book is actually a sequel to one that I read in April, and that is Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Suetano.
I really, like, I want to say that, like, this is super obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I really do, but, like, I feel like it's a false sense of security. I feel like, dial A for aunties. Oh, so it's a murder mystery. She's undercover and tricking a man that, into thinking that she loves him. No.
That's your guess? We can work with that.
I mean, I would imagine... See, okay, so my initial thought with this, like my initial thought with this is that it's like just a very like rom-com sort of book, but seeing that it's from Dial A for Aunties makes me feel like that is a play on like Dial M for Murder.
Okay.
And so I actually do feel like this is some sort of like mystery. There's some like undercover something happening here.
Okay.
But like, or they're just super controlling and like she's fighting them to get the wedding of her dreams.
Okay. So all of your theories are somehow partially correct. This one basically follows her, and she goes on a blind date that her mom set up, and due to circumstances, the date ends up dying, and then the body shows up at this wedding because they're all like part of this wedding.
It's like the Horsehead and the Godfather?
No. So this one, I don't want to say too much, but I feel like it's very obvious. But this one follows our main character, Madeline, which was the main character in the first one. And it's her wedding, and her 4 aunties are there trying to help out. And I think the family that they hire to do like the wedding vendors and stuff like that are part of the mafia.
Oh!
And so they're trying to like...
We talk about that there have been 2 books in a row that I've now mentioned the mafia.
You really have.
And I mentioned the Godfather.
That's true. And so like her aunts are trying to like put on her own wedding on her wedding day while trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this mafia family because some shady stuff's going on.
2 for 2.
You were partially correct.
2 for 2.
This one, I'm going to have to look up because I can't remember what it is. But it's The Thief Who Sang Storms by Sophie Anderson. This is her most recent middle grade book.
Middle grade.
It is middle grade.
So the best-selling author of The Girl Who... Is this a sequel?
No.
Thief Who Sang Storms. I'm getting nothing from this.
That's yeah.
I want this to be like Percy Jackson meets Moana.
That would be a great book.
That's kind of like that's the vibe I'm getting from this. Is like very like spiritual-esque of like Moana, but also just like the anger of the god. I mean, there's lightning and there's water. Therefore, Greek mythology.
Oh, there's
pictures.
Yes, Sophie Anderson likes to do pictures in her.
See, I would read this.
I don't know how to explain this one, which is true for most Sophie Andersons, but it basically follows this island that's in the shape of a heart. Humans live on one side, and the alchemists, or the bird people, live on the other side. And so we follow our main character, Lynette, who wishes that she could sing magic, but it's forbidden. And so she and her father are banished to the swamp. And then I think she goes on an adventure, but I don't know why. Her father is captured.
I feel like it's a very boring book if there's no adventure.
Yeah, but the way that's fair. But Sophie Anderson likes to do a lot of the like character development. So like what that is on the back is probably like the first 1/4 of the book, and then it's going to divulge into something totally different. And by the end of it, your character is going to be a different person almost. But yeah,
character arc.
So the next one is one that was indie published for a while. I'm sure many of you already know what I'm talking about.
I just read the back of this one, and I'm a little scared.
Oh, okay.
No, it didn't give anything away.
Gotcha.
It's just words, and I don't like it, and I'm a little...
So I'm just going to show it to you. It's The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is the one that was indie published and then officially was picked up by Tor.
Let me just figure out the theme of this book with a knife in the eye and the stars and secrets and betrayal and seduction and power.
Have fun.
That's it. That's my guess.
That's your guess.
See, okay, so here's the thing. I know nothing about The Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I'm so excited to see where this is going.
But I know there's an eye. Therefore, it's the same book.
So you're telling me this is a book of hobbits that go on adventures?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's 6 specifically.
Okay.
So see, it has like this is like the planet, like the orbit of planets and stuff. That's what's throwing me off. I mean,
if you get even close to what this is actually about, I'm gonna be shocked.
You're rude.
No, because like it's not like nothing on this cover.
So basically, so what you're telling me is I'm on the completely wrong track here.
I'm not saying that I don't know what track you're on. You haven't made a decision
I
yet.
haven't made a point yet. I've just stated facts.
Basically.
I mean, obviously this is some sort of adventure with 6 people.
Okay.
That are off for... I mean, I'm... not really like a sword in the stone kind of thing, but like I'm imagining that there's some sort of like sacred weapon that like they're kind of searching for, and I'm wondering if like the Atlas 6 makes it some kind of like adventure for a god-owned, Titan-owned kind of like I guess item, like I don't know, like some sort of like weapon or something. I don't know. There's a sword in the eye. I'm out of guesses.
Okay. So this follows 6 people, so you were correct on that.
4 for 4.
But they are witches or magicians, and they are vying for 5 spots in this Alexandrian society, which is a secret society. It's like a dark academia book. I think it has to do with the Alexandria Library, but I'm not 100% sure. But there's not a whole lot like about it. But that's what I know is that like I think they go on an adventure because like it's these 6 people learning things. But they're trying to, like, it's like a competition more than anything because there's only 5 spots and there's 6 of them, so one of them won't make it. I don't know if you were right or wrong on that one. The next one is one that I did read last month, and that is Galatea, which is a short story by Madeline Miller.
6 pages.
It is 20-something pages, I think. It's
I was
short.
joking.
It's 56, but do you see how tiny these pages are? Like, there's no words on them.
My first glance at this, my brain went Galatia.
Okay.
Which I know is not correct, but that was like what my brain went, and these also kind of look like stars, so now I'm having a really hard time disassociating it from space. Don't laugh at me.
I've done nothing. I'm letting you decide where your brain's going.
It's a dangerous game. I want this to be some sort of like mythology, like some like following some sort of like mythology. I don't really know what like story or like god or whatever, but like I want this to follow some form of mythology, and that's about all I'm getting from it.
Okay. Well, you're right.
Yay!
So this is a feminist retelling of the story of Galatea, which is a Greek myth about this sculptor who basically like thinks his entire town is prostitutes, and he thinks very highly of himself, and so he like sculpts. He works with stone, and he makes this woman out of stone, and she's perfect, and oh my gosh, and so he wants her to be real, and so the gods make her real, and that's the story. And so she was like, "What happens to the woman?" And so like, yeah, but like weirder. So you were as correct as you probably could have been.
I mean, there's nothing like there's no visual telling of what that is.
So the next 2 books, As He Squints at the Sun, I'm going to do together because they're part of the same series, and that is 2 and 3 of the Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
So that's the second one.
Wait, I heard about these. I don't know anything about them, but like I've heard about them. I knew he wrote books. I mean, it's obviously very telling by the cover. But like I definitely like heard about these. It's just like a aspiring like magician's club or something, isn't it? I'm not saying like it's not like super interesting or whatever, but like the original concept is like very simple.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, so it follows.
I don't know about the second and third books, but I figure it's just an expansion on the first one, which is just kind of like a young magician's club.
Pretty much. I mean, it follows these 6 friends. It really follows Carter, who's this little blonde kid. I don't know where he is. He's right there. And so he basically has this, like, found family moment where he finds these 6 kids in this town, and they do start this magic club. But it's because he runs into a man that turns out to be his uncle, and his uncle was part of a magic club himself, and so his kids are now starting to like do that. So
that's
yeah,
so cute.
But yeah, I love them because like in between the sections, Neil Patrick Harris has written these where he actually teaches the like reader how to do magic tricks. So like as you're reading, you can like learn how to do the stuff they're doing, but they're super cute.
Learn how to fool your friends.
Basically, I mean that's kind of what he says. I'm not gonna lie. I read the second one last month, and I picked up the third one because I want to get all 4 of them. But yeah, so the next one is The Spanish Love Deception, which is by Elena Armas, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Pretending to be in love never felt better.
Oh great, there's a tagline.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize that. Okay, well,
I mean that gives me enough of like
That's fair.
But
well,
like,
it is
I
part
mean,
of the
so
cover.
so my theory at this point is that I have two theories.
Okay.
I lied. I have one theory. So my theory is like she tricks someone rich. She's a gold digger.
Okay.
Like she like tricks someone rich into giving her this lavish life that she wants, and then, you know, very 90s romance movie, it turns real.
Well, you're partially correct. There is tricking going on.
Well, yeah. It's called the Spanish love deception.
But this one follows Catalina, who I believe is from Spain, but she works in New York, and she's had this kind of like white lie that she's been telling her family and friends that she has an American boyfriend.
Okay.
But she doesn't. And so her sister's getting married, and her ex-fiance, her ex and his fiance are going to be at this wedding. And so she basically somehow gets her American coworker to be her date. And he goes with her to this wedding. The next one, have fun with this one, is Finlay Donovan. Donovan is Killing It by Ellie Casamano.
She just covered the tagline.
I don't know what it says, but I'm afraid it says something. Again, if you get close, I'm going to be surprised because this is such a bizarre idea.
Okay, so I'll cover the bottom of it. I feel like this is very like, I mean, I think very clearly this is just like a Secret Life kind of like, you know, she's very like, by day I'm super mom, I'm all over the place, but like by night she's like sleuthing it out and like killing it with the local police department. But like the other side of it is like she's hiding this secret life where she's actually this like detective genius. She's a secret Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
I feel like that's a very like vague description of it, but like that's what I'm getting.
Okay. I would say you're correct as far as the double life.
7 for 7.
In a sense.
Are we on 7?
I have no idea.
Okay.
In a sense. So this follows Finlay Donovan, who I believe is a single mom. Yeah, she's a single mom of 2 and a struggling novelist, and so she's in the coffee shop with her editor explaining her idea about this novel. And someone overhears it and mistakes it as she is a hitman. And so they hire her to kill off somebody. And so she is very much like trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and it's very double life because she's trying to like figure out stuff. So
I'm in.
That's what I thought, right? Like, I'm very interested.
No, like
it's murder being a hit mom.
Haha.
I mean, I would say she has a double life in the sense of like,
she's still a mother.
She's still a mom.
And now she's a murderer.
And now she like somehow got wrapped up in this like life of crime, and I don't really know. She's partially correct. This one, if you don't guess it, I'm gonna be really mad at you. Sixth and Second Degree Murder by Tears of Price. Have fun.
So this is a love story. It's a Jane Austen murder mystery.
It is, yes. It's the second, actually.
Do you like Jane Austen?
I might like her a little bit. I know.
Guys, has anyone figured out what her favorite author is? I cracked the code.
You cracked it.
I mean, it's got to be a play off of Sense and Sensibility.
Oh my god. You're
and
right.
Murder.
Yeah, so it is. It's a play on Sense and oh my gosh, now I can't say the correct one.
Sense and Sensibility.
And it follows our 2 main characters, Marianne and Eleanor. One of them is a budding scientist, one of them is a budding detective, and their father ends up dead, and they're both like, wait a second, this feels suspicious, and so they start investigating it. Because
I mean, if my father was dead, I would be pretty suspicious.
Well, it looks like a heart attack. Yeah, it looks like a heart attack, and that's even what the coroner says, but one of them is like, because he was a detective or a PI himself, and so like one of them wants to take it over. So it's the 2 of them, plus all the normal sensibility things in it. But yeah.
All right.
You got it. The next one is the 2nd volume of Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. It's a manga series.
Yay. Because manga is never confusing based on artwork.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say focus more on
Is it Spy and Family?
No, it's just called Spy Family.
It's Spy Family, okay.
I don't know why there's an X there, but...
Spy times family equals love. Spy times family equals murder. I mean, I I want to say Spy Family is pretty straightforward. This young girl is being spied on by her rhinoceros, bear, lion, dragon, snake.
Her stuffed animal is what he's trying to say. So your guess is this little girl is being spied on.
No, I mean she's just a part of a spy family.
So the first volume of this follows our main character, not her, the dad of this family, and he is actually a spy, and he has been sent to infiltrate this like boarding house, not boarding house, but like private school of sorts. So he has to create a family. So he finds this woman who's an assassin to play his wife, and this girl who's a telepath to play his daughter. And so it's their story. And I think they actually form like an actual family. So
it's not a real family.
It's not a real family, but I think they start like caring for each other by the end of it. I think there's 10 volumes in this. And so they start caring for each other by the end of it. But I've been searching for the second volume forever. I mean, since I read the first one. So
and we found it.
And we found it. So
I had a lot to do with it.
You weren't? Yes, sure. You were.
I live here.
You were not even there. So yeah, I'll give that one to you because like.
I mean, it wasn't hard.
Yeah. So the next one is another one that I feel like is pretty obvious, and that is Never Fall for Your Fiancé.
Every time you say that, I just feel like really nervous. I'm like, no.
By Virginia Heath. Never Fall for Your Fiancé by Virginia Heath.
So, is this? I feel like this is not the same book, but it follows the same concept. I feel like this is like a.
Oh, was the Spanish love one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually have two.
Okay.
I have the same two theories.
Okay.
I have like the Gold Digger, or just like. Oh, actually, I have a new theory.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm curious. I'm wondering if they're marrying for status, or like it's an arranged marriage, and then like they're just like, yeah, but I really love this guy. Like, I really love this girl. But it's an arranged marriage, so, like, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But then they actually, like, fall for each other. I feel like they're marrying for status. I feel like they're marrying for a show in some way, shape, or form. But, like, they have other people, they have other agendas, and they're both on board with it. And then they both fall for each other, and then, you know, there's the whole part where it's just like, oh, he would never like me, though. This was our arrangement. And he's just like, oh, she would never like me. Woe is me!
I love your interpretation of romance novels. Yeah, I mean, yes.
One of my seven guesses.
Yes. So we follow our main character, Hugh, who's an earl and is in search of a wife, but his mom is super, like, on his back, and so he makes up this fake fiance to basically like make her go away.
So I would have been closer sticking to just like the first,
pretty much,
just like the Love and Deception one.
And so he makes up this fake fiance, and so his mom ends up like, I think she's in America, and so she comes because it says that she's overseas. So she ends up showing up, and he's like, oh crap! So he hires this random lady to be his fiance. For money, obviously, and like she's struggling, she and her sister are struggling, and so I think obviously based on the cover, they will fall for each other, or the title, they will fall for each other. But
okay, so I'm like 10 for 10.
I'd say you've gotten something right on almost all of these.
10 for 10. How many books have we done?
12. So the next book is the book that I got in my most recent Unplugged Book Box. So if you haven't seen that one, I will leave that one linked above as well. If you'd like to check it out, and don't be spoiled, it's the April box. But that is 1,000 Steps into Night by Tracy Chee. You could literally guess anything at this point.
I'm gonna cover the back.
Oh, I don't think that really.
I'm gonna cover like.
Oh, maybe it does.
I'm gonna cover the actual words.
That man is on fire.
Yeah. Pretty dope. What are we here for?
It's based on mythology. It's been a while since I remember this.
So it's based on mythology is my guess.
I think. Oh, it smells like the box it came in.
I think. I mean, my guess would have been some form of like mythology anyway. I mean, there's a dude on fire with a sword and horns, so I mean, and like she's levitating a flower.
Oh, she is, you're right.
Which I mean, I can do.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like, yeah.
You can levitate a flower?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I'm just assuming she's very, like, in tune with, like, nature and stuff, and, like, this is all based off of, like, the picture. I'm getting nothing from 1,000 Steps into Night.
Yeah, I don't think that
Into Night.
tells you anything.
I don't, I don't feel like I know anything. This is just like some kind of like action, adventure, mythology, something. I don't really have a plot.
Oh, that's right. So we follow our main character, and she is cursed to transform into a demon. And so I think it's her adventure on trying to not do that. But then I think she likes the power it gives her.
Conceal, don't feel.
The next one is the only book on this list that wasn't for me. It's one that Chris bought. And that is Bench... No, it's not. That's the first one. This is Mixed Doubles by John Feinstein. Sorry, I almost said Bench Warmers, which was the first in that series.
Mixed doubles when man and woman play on the same side of the tennis court at the same time. It's just a man and woman playing tennis on the same team. Like that's what mixed doubles is. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's very clearly. I have to say, I'm hoping. I'm sure Chris has mentioned it. I don't know, but I'm hoping that at some point Matt Christopher has come up. Matt Christopher are books. Chris will confirm this. Matt Christopher was books that he wrote, like sports books for kids.
Oh,
and like
yeah, we've got a bunch down there.
Yeah. So like, Chris and I grew up reading a bunch of Matt Christopher books, and like. I mean, this is clearly not the same kind of thing. I mean, this is much more...
It's middle grade.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed for, like, older people, I guess. But, like, I don't know. This makes me happy just because, like, I have a feeling that part of the... I really want to ask him now if part of the reason that he bought this is because of Matt Christopher.
Well, he bought the first book in the series at one of the book fairs he did.
Okay, well, if that was,
and I think he likes the author.
If it was, like, at all inspired by
our
love for Matt Christopher.
Probably.
And growing up. Chris and I liked a lot of, like, similar things growing up.
Yeah. This is the third in a series, and I don't remember exactly what this one is about, but each book follows these two friends in these different sports and some sort of issue. I know one of them dealt with racism. I know one of them dealt with sexism. I'm not sure what this one follows, but clearly it follows the sport of tennis.
Much heavier than Matt Christopher.
Yeah.
Matt Christopher was just dealing with bullies.
Yeah, there's some sort of social issue that he like touches on, which I think is great for middle grade because you get those those conversations in for younger kids. But
hard-hitting issues.
Hard-hitting issues. The next one is Fortuna Sworn by K.J. Sutton. That's the first in a long series, but I think only 4 are out right now. But I treated myself to the first one. So, actually my boss treated me to this one. So. Okay,
so you said this is the first in a series.
In a series that I think will be like 7 or 8, but at this point there's only 4.
Is the series called Fortuna?
No, I think the series is called Fortuna Sworn.
Okay.
And then also the first book is called that.
This gives me like real like Maleficent vibes. And like I'm kind of here for it. Angelina Jolie, anybody?
Oh, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah, like it really, I mean, like honestly, this is very...
I've never like studied this cover.
Well, I mean, like looking at it through the eyes of like the movie. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like truly, like the Angelina Jolie movie. I mean, like the antlers is sort of like...
Oh, yeah.
Or like they're like branches or like antlers, which is, I mean, sort of like, you know, Maleficent's horns. And like the swirling wind and like kind of, but like sort of like the dead forest around her. Like dying forest, dark forest. So like
it gives me fall vibes when I look at those covers.
For sure. Like fall, like kind of witchy vibes.
Yeah.
So like, and I don't want to like make this all Maleficent, even though like those are like the vibes I'm getting. But in general, like what I am getting from this is very like protector of the forest.
Okay.
Like not necessarily like ruler of the land or anything like that. But I mean honestly like very like keeper, protector of the wood, and like all of its inhabitants sort of style.
I'm not sure if you're right. Because
I'm right.
The synopsis doesn't say anything about protecting, but I could see that
for 13.
being a thing in the series. So this follows Fortuna. It's actually a fantasy romance, and it follows Fortuna, who is a nightmare. Now, I'm not sure what that means. I think she has some sort of magical power that gives people nightmares, but I'm hoping to learn more once I read it. Her brother has been missing for 2 years, and so she's trying to find him, and there's this fae, I think he's a king, but maybe not, maybe he's just a prince, but he comes in and basically, like, offers her... Like, he knows where her brother is, and he can, like, bring him back, but, like, she has to marry him. So it's... Yeah.
Convoluted.
Very, very normal.
Drama!
It's very normal for, like, fantasy romance, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure you're wrong.
I read fantasy, not fantasy romance.
That's true, and I read a lot of fantasy romance.
Drama!
I know. So the next few are the ones that we went to, like, the used book warehouse that I go to very frequently. So the next few are kind of those. And the first one is A Wallflower Christmas by Lisa Kleypas.
I'm not sure those were actual words that you said.
A Wallflower Christmas by Lisa Kleypas. If you want even more, you can see the step back.
What?
The step back. That's what that's called.
Ha! That is a nude gentleman.
He's not. He just doesn't have a shirt. I've seen much worse. Oh, it keeps going! Oh, it's the same picture. Never mind. I got so excited.
It's a flip book.
It's a flip book.
So, this handsome gentleman assists in one of these formally dressed women into also losing her clothing.
I hate that you're probably not wrong. Like, in all honesty.
So, Wallflower Christmas, a wallflower, that means that she likes to, like, stand in the back and observe. So her friends, these other well-dressed
Individuals. Women. People.
Showing off women, are all going to a Christmas party. And she's like, no, I don't want to go to this party. And they're like, no, you should go. And she's like, no. And she's like, you should go. And she's like, okay, fine. And then she meets the mostly naked man.
I'm sure he's not mostly naked when she meets
That's
him.
what you think.
Yes, and then he would immediately be ruined. No, he wouldn't. He's a man. He won't be ruined. She'd be ruined.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because she takes off her...
Yeah.
Yeah. So he convinces her to stop being a wallflower and find her true self in his arms.
Maybe. So this is the...
This is the one I feel the most confident about.
So this is a Christmas novella that's like a 4.5, so it comes after the entire series, which follows The Wallflowers, which is a series by Lisa Kleypas, which is these 4 friends who are wallflowers, and it's each of them in their respective romances. And in this one, it takes place at Christmas, obviously, and it's the 4 of them and this guy who, like, comes into town, and I think he's, like, they're trying to, like, get these 2 people at this party together, is basically the point of it. So, like, yes, you're right, except for that, like, I don't know how they know these people. But it's a Christmas novella, so I got it, so I could read it at Christmas. The next one is one that I'm hoping to get to this month, and that is Beautiful Bastards by Christina Lauren. It's the first in that series.
I mean, immediately, this is very James Bond-esque.
Oh, I totally see that. Yeah.
Like, the perfect blend of sex, sass, and heart. Tell me that ain't James Bond. Tell me that ain't Daniel Craig. I just have a feeling that this is going to be very James Bond-esque.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, like, I feel like with a title like Beautiful Bastards, it's not going to be it's not going to be a romance novel. That look tells me I'm wrong.
I'm so sorry. It is 110% a romance novel. So, it's actually an office romance between, like, I think the guy,
the CEO and
the executive,
the lowly hourly worker,
the executive and the intern. I'm hesitant about the series because it's, like, got a lot of mixed reviews, but I love Christina Lauren. But yeah, it's an office romance. Next one is Miss Austen by Jill Hornby.
It's a biography of Jane Austen.
Is that your guess?
Kinda.
No, it's fiction. But it is about an Austen.
The biography of Texas.
What the No.
It's a spoof on Mrs. Doubtfire. That's my...
So no. Basically, is the story of Cassandra Austen, which is Jane Austen's sister. She's one of the ones that, like, Jane Austen, like, constantly sent letters to, and I think it's her after Jane dies, and, like, how she's growing old and stuff, and reminiscing on her sister's life, I think. But
interesting.
It had Austen in it, so that's really all I needed to know. This next one came from your mom. I know.
I know her.
You do. So the next one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Your mom gave that to me.
See, and I feel like she's mentioned it.
Okay.
I mean, once again, the cover gives me very little. There's a Presumably a nightingale.
I would assume that's what that is, yeah.
I mean, it could be a raven.
It's a bird. There's a bird.
It's a bird. It is a winged creature in what appears to be a thorn bush in front of the Eiffel Tower. So, book. Just kidding.
I was like, that wasn't even a guess.
I just described what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you and I know my mom.
Okay. So
It's a mystery.
No, it's a historical fiction. Actually, there might be a mystery to it. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't read it yet.
I know that's the kind of stuff that, like, she'll talk about that. She likes sort of, like, thriller kind of stuff. However, I mean, she does... Now that you say it's a historical fiction, she does like historical fiction.
Yeah.
It's just not... If I think, hey, your mom... if you say, hey, your mom recommended me a book, my first thought isn't historical fiction. It's going to be mystery.
That's fair, yeah.
So...
Which is weird because most of the books she's given me are actually historical fiction, which is really entertaining.
Okay, interesting.
But, so this one, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it takes place during World War 1839, so I don't know what war that is, but it's one of the world wars, and it follows a mother and a daughter. I think it's two. And I don't know their story, but it's like a generational difference, and I know that it's heartbreaking. Like, everyone who reads this book says they sob. So, it's a historical fiction, set in World War II, about a mom and a daughter. That's what I know.
Because you need a book that's going to make you cry.
Yeah. And the next one is another pre-order that came in that I'm hoping to read this month, and that is I Love You, I Hate You, and this is by Elizabeth Davis.
So...
It doesn't really tell you anything, so I won't worry about covering it.
All's Fair in Love and Law tells me that these are lawyers.
Okay, so it does tell you one thing.
Or it at least has something to do with lawyers, not necessarily that they're lawyers.
That's
But
fair.
now I'm curious if this is... No, I mean, like, what's running through my head is that this is like a... This is a divorce turned good.
Okay.
Like, this is like a... Or just, like, through the processes of divorce and, like, the lawyers and all this stuff, and, like, they're forced to, like, look back on their relationship, and, like, they realize maybe things weren't as bad as they thought. I don't know. Like, there are, like, letters and stuff around, and I don't know what all that has to do with it, but I want to make it a part of it. My guess is it's some kind of court case that forces them to reevaluate their relationship one way or the other.
Okay. Okay. So it follows Victoria and Owen, who are lawyers. And they are rival lawyers. They're working on the same case. I don't know exactly what the case is. However, they play Nora and Luke online, and Nora and Luke like each other. But Victoria and Owen hate each other. So it's them kind of like coming to terms with the fact that like the person that they are falling for online is actually this person that they hate in real life. It's kind of office romancy. It's not really office romancy, but it's like coworker romancy. So, yeah. I don't know what the case is though, but they're rival case. Like they're working on the same case.
Okay.
So,
I got that one like 30%. Right.
You did.
Oh no.
So, how do I do this?
For those curious, we are on the last book.
This is the one I'm
gonna introduce this one. So this is the last one.
He knows this one is coming because I think it's hilarious.
This is the one I mentioned earlier that everyone has been really excited for me to look at, and Chris doesn't like that it exists.
He doesn't. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. The last book. Let me tell you a backstory. The last book is because I joined this author's... We have an audience in the corner. This author...
Chris came in just to watch my reaction.
Yeah. I became part of this author's Patreon, and one of the perks is that whenever she releases a book, you get a physical copy of it. And this is just the most recent one. So it came out a few months ago, but now we have it. And that one is The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert.
I'm only seeing reflection. Hold.
Here you go.
Hold. No. No. No.
Okay. Well, Andrew's done.
No. No.
In my defense, I never would have actually bought this book myself, but I like the author, so. Any guesses?
So
here?
Godzilla has come to Earth. This is
No words. So this is a monster romance. Obviously, it's the first in her deal with a demon series. There's at least
first.
Yeah, there's gonna be a couple more, but they're all different.
No!
But the whole thing with this cover is that it's supposed to be based on like historical romance novels of sorts. So, yeah. This is.
I don't like that any part of that is based on another cover.
Well, historical romances are very like, you know, loose-fitting things. You literally looked at one like 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, but she wasn't chained to a sea monster.
Okay, that's fair. Actually, he's a dragon. Okay, well, that was a process. I hope you had fun. I don't know what this is going to turn into.
I had fun.
He had fun. I think I had fun.
She's not going to have fun editing.
I'm not. No, it's going to be a beast to edit. But I hope and that was not intentional, just for the record. I hope you enjoyed whatever this video turned into. I'm not sure.
I enjoyed it.
Good. That was gonna be my question: is if you enjoyed being your first time on the channel.
I feel like we still need like a who is.
That's true. Maybe we'll suggest down below if you'd like to see more from Andrew. What you'd like to see? A Q&A? I don't know. Not a Q&A, but like one of those like 20 questions. Let me know. Let me know down below, as always, if you've heard any of the books that I mentioned. Let me know your thoughts on them if you've read them.
Hope you haven't heard of that last one.
Or if there's something that you've picked up recently that you're very excited about, let me know that as well. And if you don't know what to say, but you want to comment something, comment the like book stack emoji, because we have had... There's a
dragon!
Oh, comment the dragon. Is there a dragon emoji?
Yes.
For sure.
There are multiple.
Okay, great. Comment the dragon emoji. Just make the world uncomfortable. It's great. But if you liked this video, and I very much hope that you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you'd like to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there, as well as other fun bookish links. So don't forget to check all of that out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! You can wave. Thank you.